We've written book after book after book and filled them with process after process after process, all with the intention of helping you to release resistance. And all of them are effective. The better you get at understanding how these laws of the universe work, the more you can apply these processes. Recently, we've been saying to you, and we mean it with everything that we have, don't work too hard at trying to get back on the disc, because once you fall off, there's enough momentum that almost any struggle or effort that you offer will be counterproductive to you, because you get defensive. You try to justify. You try to explain to somebody who's not even asking, well, you see why I'm not on the disc is because of that and that and that and that and that. The less airtime you give to the explanation of why you don't feel good, the less you'll hold yourself in that other momentum that is counter to what you want. So we just be as happy as we can be, as long as we could be. And then when you're aware that you have fallen or that you have chosen a different disc, then we would apply these simple techniques. We would say to ourselves, I'm aware that I'm not really where I want to be. And I'm aware that any attention I give to being where I don't want to be is just going to practice that vibration longer. So I'm going to do the best job I can of distracting myself from whatever it is that is at the heart of this newfound, less than positive, somewhat negative emotion. Then these are the tools that we would utilize in this order. If we could, we would take a nap, because slumber will start the day over again. If that's not practical, we would meditate. Quieting the mind accomplishes the same thing. And if you've been meditating for a while, you'll get really, really good at it. Making a list of positive aspects isn't a really good tool under those conditions, because you're already not on a very good disc. And so you're going to say it, but you're not going to mean it. And when you say things you don't mean, you just practice what you do mean. You see what we're getting at? So what we're talking about here is just managing your alignment, managing your connection to what? Your connection to the energy, your connection to the vibration, your connection to the vibration of source, your connection to the influence of source, your connection to the path of least resistance to everything that you want. After a few days of playing with this, you're going to begin to notice, some of you already are noticing, synchronicity in your life, rendezvous with things that you cannot help but understand is the universe setting you up for understanding about thing after thing after thing. Esther said, I need to start writing this stuff down, because it's happening with such speed that it's intoxicating, first of all, to see how many things that the universe can orchestrate that equal, for Esther, evidence of that alignment. We wanted to say earlier in the conversation that what life is for all of you is this moment and how you feel, period. It's this moment and how you feel, period. We know that's sort of a boring thing to contemplate, but it is this moment and how you feel, period. That's what life is. It's always this moment and how you feel, period. And when you start at the beginning of the day caring about how you feel, noticing how you feel, and tending to how you feel, and then have awareness of how you feel, you're off and running in deliberate creation, the likes of which almost nobody that you ever know will be doing. In other words, just that little bit of conscious awareness at the beginning of the day. And then anything that you can do. We think it's a really good thing when you realize that you're not where you want to be, to just hold the image of falling out of an airplane and hearing Abraham saying, hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. And just don't sweat over it. Don't suffer over it. Don't struggle over it. And this is the thing that we can feel it with you. We can feel it with all of you. We feel it with Esther on a daily basis. You are efforting at the wrong times. When you effort from a lower flying disc, you only practice the momentum of the lower flying disc. The harder you try, the more you encourage the momentum. And it's because of this powerful universal law. The more general you are, the more you slow the momentum. The more specific you are, the more you speed the momentum. So We'd plan the night before. We'd do our best that morning. We'd fly as high as we can. We'd crash and burn if we have to. We wouldn't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. And then we would acknowledge that this effort that I'm applying right now is counterproductive under these conditions. Or this attention that I am applying right now is productive under these conditions. And what's the condition? If it feels good, you want to be specific. If it doesn't feel good, you want to be general. That's really a good tool. It's really a good thing to understand. So somebody comes to you and they say, I have an issue. It's someone at work. I have an issue about such and such. So as soon as they walk into your space, you feel yourself potentially slipping from that high-flying disc. So what would, given what we've just said to you, your best course of action be? To say to them, oh, really? What is the problem? More specific. Or to say to them, I have to go to the bathroom. Or to say to them, you're one of the best problem solvers I've ever known. Let me know how it turns out. Or to say to them, I'm on a high-flying disc. And talking to you is a very high probability that I soon won't be on a very high-flying disc. Now let me explain to you about the high-flying disc. I want to be on the high-flying disc. You want me to be on the high-flying disc. Now, most people aren't ready for this conversation. You really have a wonderful benefit if you're hanging around with people that do know about the high-flying disc. In other words, once you get the hang of this and you're hanging around together and somebody comes with you with some sort of problem, just point upward like, just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Because as soon as you say, do we really want to go there? You've gone. We want to give you just one more piece of how this all fits together, and then we'll talk to you about anything that you want to talk about. It is our expectation that you're going to live happily ever after as a result of this understanding that's going to come fully, momentously into your conscious awareness. Never again are you not going to understand what's happening to you or anybody else. You're going to understand the laws of the universe so vividly that you will never again wonder why it's happening to you the way it is, why it's happening to anybody else the way it is. And further, you're going to gain control, not all at once, not in one day at the fair, but you're going to gain control of your own vibrational output. And when you do, you will access the leverage of the energy that creates worlds, and you will find yourself with that magical energy and power and alignment and vitality and invincibility that you were born to experience. It's who you are. It's how it should be for you. The thing that keeps you from sometimes realizing it is you're not solid on your disc. You're practiced on a lot of different discs, so you're rendezvousing with a lot of different situations and peoples and the way it feels. So you haven't made the correlation between them coming to play with you because you've summoned them by your vibration. But after you play with this, as we think most of you will as a result of this conversation today, and you're reaching for that high-flying disc, and you're doing a more consistent job of maintaining the vibration of that, you'll be abundantly aware of the enormous numbers of other high-flying beings who will come and play with you. The younger they are, the more likely they are to join you on your disc. The more fur they have on them, the furry friends and feathered friends, they are easy co-creators. But there are so many others, even people with whom you've been co-creating, that you have some clogged pipes about. As you spend time on this high-flying disc, you'll begin rendezvousing with them in little brief snatches in time when, for whatever reason, they are not in a state of resistance, and so their inner being has called them upward, and you'll have a rendezvousing moment with them that will be incredibly satisfying to you and to them. You see, we want you to begin acknowledging the others, whether it's a butterfly or a human. We want you to begin acknowledging the others Not as butterflies, not as flora and fauna, not as humans, not as people, not as those manifested terms that you've come to describe them. We want you to begin thinking in terms of them being energy beings, projecting a certain energy frequency in any point in time. So now you're not concerned with the beingness of them. You're more aware of the frequency of them, the vibration of them, the altitude, the attitude of them, even easier to understand the mood of them. But you're really now not even concerned about their mood, their vibration, their altitude, their attitude, their frequency, because you got all your attention upon your own. And when you put all of your attention upon your own, so that you're tending to it, and you're not cluttering your vibration with all of their frequencies, so that your frequency is more solid, more sure, more often offered, then you'll be rendezvousing with lots of them in delightful and unexpected ways, and whole new herds of butterflies and birds and people will flow into your experience in delicious ways. There's so much in your vortex that you have not yet tapped into, that once you tend to your point of attraction, you will begin tapping into it. And when you tap into it after doing this conscious work, then you just get on a roll. Esther had the dashboard cards made, and the first group of them were edited for space. And they said, things always work out for me. And Esther could feel the slight offness of that, because every time she's heard us say it, she's heard us say, things are always working out for me. Present tense. They are always. In this moment, they are working out. In this moment, they are working out. In this moment, they are working out. No matter what's happening, and no matter what your perspective of what's happening is, things are working out. And as you practice that thought and come to own that, your concerns will be replaced with feelings of adventure, and your fears will be replaced with feelings of adventure and eagerness. Your confusion will be replaced with more moments of clarity, and your scrutiny of your time-space reality will be replaced with a feeling of appreciation of the bigness and the fullness and the possibility of it. The vibrational acuity that you have embarked upon as a result of the hours that you've patiently listened to us rambling here today has put you on a bouncing off place that will bring evidence to you immediately. And as you savor each and every particle of the evidence that is coming in response to your newfound vibrational frequency. You see, we've been here way more than 68 seconds. And we've come around to it again and again, way more than 68 seconds. You've practiced the vibration of the high-flying disc just by participating here in this day in ways that you've never practiced it before. You are vibrationally altered. Don't you love knowing that? Do you know how many dead guys are aware of you and wanting to assist you with your painting, with your art, with your music, with your lyrics, with your walking and not falling in a hole? With your clarity about anything? In other words, this continuity of life, this consciousness that you have access to is indescribable, and not being offered to you because your life is broken and you need to fix it, and not being offered to you because if you don't tap into it, you won't evolve or you won't demonstrate with as much effectiveness as you would if you do, but because the satisfaction factor of your life is directly linked to your reaching for vibrational alignment with the whole of that which you are. Most humans are living scanty versions of the life they meant to live. And conversations like this are how you free it up and lay new pipes, you see. And then you say, well, if that's true, then why is my life not improving? And we say, for one very easy to understand reason. You're launching the rockets by knowing what you don't want, But then you're not practicing the vibration of what you do want often. Instead, you're beating the drum of justification of why you want the